Let's say you have a to-do list and it has all of the tasks you need to do for the day and you don't feel like doing any of them. What do you do? I have this experience happen to me a lot, and I know a thing or two about not being motivated when I need to be productive. Today I want to talk about what to do in those moments when you don't want to do something but you need to do it, or you really should do it. For some people, maybe they have this feeling of not wanting to do something once a month or so, and for other people maybe it's like every day, all day. For me, I feel like I'm kind of the latter, where I just don't feel like doing the things I need to do. Some days I'm able to push past this feeling more than other days. Some days I am able to actually be really productive and I feel really great. And then other days I feel like I have done nothing. If you're able to find a way to check off all the things on your to-do list when you don't really want to do them, then you are a step ahead of probably most people. So why do we not want to do certain tasks? Well, there's a lot of different reasons why. Maybe you think that the task is boring or you're not interested in it. Maybe you just don't care about the task. Maybe you're unclear about what the next steps are for the task. You could have past trauma around a task, or have a fear of failure, or a fear of success. Maybe the task seems too difficult and you don't know where to start. Maybe you're lacking energy. Maybe there's no deadlines, there's no accountability. Or maybe you're a perfectionist and that's holding you back from getting started. So how do we do the things even though we might be facing all of these obstacles? Well, it kind of comes down to you and how you work as a person and what motivates you and keeps you going. One way of staying motivated is by accountability, and this one is really big for me. I have found that I definitely do my best work when I'm being held accountable for it, and it makes it a lot easier for me to check things off of my to-do list. For example, I work out in the mornings with a friend virtually, and I know that if I did not have this set up, I would not do it on my own. But because I have somebody else that is waiting on me in the mornings to show up on FaceTime to work out, it really encourages me to actually do it. Second one is rewards. You could be really motivated by getting a reward after you're done with a task. So that could be something like, maybe you get a crumble cookie if you finish cleaning the house that day. Next is urgency. So maybe you are motivated the most when there is a deadline, or when you know that you only have a short amount of time to do something, and so you need to get it done within that time, and it really helps you to actually do the thing because there's a time or a date when it needs to be done by. Next is purpose or meaning. You could get your motivation by having your task be meaningful to you. And maybe you're sitting there and being like, well, how do I find meaning in calling a health insurance company to talk about my bill? There's ways to find meaning in pretty much anything you do. You just have to think about it, and we'll talk about this a little bit more in a minute. Next is competition. Some people are really motivated if they have a competition either with themselves or their past selves or another person in the task that they're doing. Next is recognition, so doing a task and then having somebody recognize that you did that task and telling you something positive about it. Another way to stay motivated could be clarity. So for a lot of people, just knowing the exact steps that they need to take, that will be enough to help them actually complete the task. Next is finding a way to make the tasks fun and interesting. Some people, and maybe you are this way, find that it's a lot easier to do something if you're actually interested in it, or if you find it fun. So here on the screen I have a task list for a person. We're going to call her Mary. She's a part-time graphic designer, and she's also a mom to a young child. The things on her to-do list, and maybe this is for a day or a week. First up would be designing graphics for a client and then emailing those graphics over to her, sending a quote for design services, writing a blog post, making an eye appointment, returning pants that she doesn't like. She also needs to meal plan for the week and clean the bathroom, and she needs to call the health insurance company to talk about a bill. We're gonna go through now and talk about how to incorporate each of these different styles of motivation into this task list so that you can see an example. If Mary is most motivated by accountability, it could be really helpful for her to join an accountability group or get an accountability buddy. There's an app called Flown, Flown, that allows you to find an accountability partner to keep you motivated. If you're looking for an accountability club, I actually have one that I run. It runs weekly, and we meet in a small group and talk about the goals that you have for the upcoming week, and then we talk about all of your goals or tasks from the past week, and then what you did, what you accomplished, and what you didn't, any obstacles along the way. So if you're interested in learning more about that, you can check out the link in the description below. If you are most motivated by rewards, you could tell yourself that once you complete all of your tasks for the week or for the next couple of weeks, you get to go out to dinner at your favorite restaurant, or you'll allow yourself to binge watch a new TV show over the weekend. If you're the most motivated by urgency and deadlines, you can set deadlines for yourself. So you can go through your task list. Let's say we can go through Mary's task list, and we can apply dates that we want to be finished with each of the tasks. You can also pair this with accountability by having the date that you've said that you're going to do something, and then having somebody hold you accountable for that as well. Another way to include urgency in your task list is to go through each item and put an amount of time that you think it will take to complete each of your tasks. And then you can take a kitchen timer or the timer on your phone, or I like one called the tick timer, and you can set the timer for that amount of time and then have it start counting down, and then you'll do the task within that amount of time. If you're the most motivated by finding purpose and meaning in your tasks and in the things that you do, go through each of your to-do lists and list out why you want to do each of the things on your list. In Mary's task list, for the task for returning the pants to Kohl's, her why or purpose for that could be to get the money that she spent on those pants back, and then she could get a new pair of pants that she actually does really like, and that could be enough motivation for her to actually complete that task, just knowing that why and the meaning behind it. If Mary is motivated the most by competition, she could see how many tasks she could complete within an hour, or she could try to resolve her health insurance bill issue in one phone call. If you're motivated by finding clarity in your tasks, go through each of your tasks on your to-do list and list out all of the tiny steps you need to take one by one in order to complete the task. Then you can just follow the tasks step one through however many steps there are, but it just makes it a lot more clear how to complete the task. If you're the most motivated by making tasks fun and interesting, see how you can add this into each of your tasks. For example, in Mary's list for cleaning her bathroom, she could buy new products for her bathroom in a scent that she really likes. Or she could bring her laptop into her bathroom and play a TV show that she's only allowed to watch when she's cleaning. By determining your motivational style and what really helps you to stay motivated the most, it can really help you to stop getting in your head so much when you're trying to think about your task list. I know that for me, I do spend a lot of time in my head thinking about these tasks that I need to do, but then being like, but I don't want to do it. And then I'll just do something else. Like, I'll waste a lot of time on social media, or scrolling through websites, reading the news, doing things around my apartment that aren't actually on my to-do list, just to avoid doing the things that are actually on the list. I do also have some tips for you for how to get started, and one is to start with working on something for 2 minutes. Choose something on your list and then tell yourself that you will work on this thing for 2 minutes, and that's your goal, and you can stop when you're done. So let's say that Mary decides to work on her designs for Emily for 2 minutes. So she starts up her computer, opens Photoshop, and begins the work on these designs. After 2 minutes goes by, she can stop if she wants, and she will have accomplished her goal. Or what really kind of ends up happening is that once you kind of get going, it's a lot easier to continue going. So she may decide to stop after 2 minutes, or she may go ahead and continue on and even finish the project. You can kind of hack this to whatever task you need to accomplish just by starting for 2 minutes, and then if you're done, cool. If not, awesome. My next tip is to have a change of scenery. So if you're sitting at your desk all day and you're really not feeling motivated, maybe you just need to change where you're working from. You could either go to a coffee shop or a library, or if you work in an office, you could try to find a conference room to work in for a little bit. And just changing that like scenery to somewhere that is a little bit different sometimes is enough to kind of like switch something in your head to be like, okay, now I'm not in that like distracted zone anymore. Now I'm in work mode. So something to try. My next tip is to count down from 5 and then begin your task. This is a tip that comes from Mel Robbins for starting things. And really all it is you just start counting down from 5. So you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you start your task. So whatever it is, let's say for example, it's working on that quote for the new client. What you would do, count down from 5. Once you get to 1, you open up your computer, open up whatever software you need, open up your email platform to email the potential new client, and then you just do it. It doesn't seem like this one would work, but try it out and see if it works for you. You may be surprised. Another tip I have is to go ahead and start your to-do list with anything that you think is going to be the easiest. So on Mary's list, maybe for her, the easiest task will be calling the eye doctor and making an appointment for her kid. So she does that, calls, makes the appointment, and then it feels really good because she's accomplished this task, and it makes it easier in some instances to continue with the task list if she's already done something. A lot of times when we're not feeling productive, we just get stuck in our heads and we think, oh, we're not being productive, we really need to do these things, we don't want to do these things, I want to do something else, maybe I'll do this other thing, I'll go over here, I'll not think about it, I'll think about it, and we're just in our heads. Really, all that we need to do is just start, and then it's a lot easier to keep going. There's a lot more to productivity than what I've mentioned here today. Ali Abdaal on YouTube has a whole channel about productivity and ways to stay productive and how to manage your time, and I'll link him down below. If you have any other tips for staying productive and getting your tasks done even if you don't want to do them, leave a comment below and I would love to read about it. Thank you so much for joining me today and watching this video, and I will see you next time.